Gentlemen No Class is proud to be a part of the HC Universal Network. Gentlemen No Class is produced and recorded at M5 Studios and is mixed and edited by Final Curtain Media.
On today's episode, we talk about the Houston versus Dallas debate. It's going to happen, guys. It's going to be fun. We also have a guest in the studio. One of the guitar players from Before There Was Rosalyn is here talking about his life on the road. So stick around, guys. It's about to get weird.
This podcast contains explicit language and is intended for adult audiences. The views and opinions of Gentlemen No Class are strictly for comedic purposes and should not be taken literally. For instance, like this disclaimer. Now grab yourself a pint and enjoy.
So welcome to another episode of Gentlemen No Class, a podcast that when the going gets weird, the weird turn pro. I'm Jake.
I'm Raff.
Paul.
Rob.
And like it or not, gentle ladies and gentlemen, we are your hosts for this awesome, crazy, drunk podcast.
Again,
known as Gentlemen No
blowing
Class.
yourself up way too much.
I'm not drunk.
Not yet.
I'm not drunk. You're drunk.
No,
Yeah.
I'm on like half a beer in.
You threw up.
So yeah, this is, I think, episode 24. I mean, we have so many episodes.
No,
I
this
lost
is
count.
episode 27.
No, it's not. Get out of here, dude.
I'm pretty sure.
No, it's not. It's 24.
It's 24. He's fucking
He
with
sounds
us.
so fucking serious. I
He's
thought you were
with us.
fucking with
Yeah,
us.
no, he's fucking
You're
with us.
24.
He's 24.
You're
Yeah.
24.
Me?
Yeah.
Or we're Jacob? This new layout is throwing me
Losers.
off. It's making me hate Rob even more because I'm closer to him.
That's my Raff quote. Fucking loser.
But yeah, this new table layout. It's
So
throwing
we
me off.
have a new
finally
table.
have our table.
Yeah.
It's about a third of the way done, but
Yeah.
it's standing. It's supportive.
And
It's-
It's making me hate Rob
It's like a
even
dirty
more
pair of
because I'm
underwear.
close to him.
It stands by itself. It's supportive.
it does its job.
It does its
We
job.
should have had it episodes ago.
Yeah, we should have had this. This
Yeah,
would have been
Jacob
nice
said
months ago.
this table was done like an episode like 3 or 6. It was fucking a long time ago.
Yeah.
Well, it's a labor of love, and you can tell.
yeah.
Yeah,
you know.
no, he did a good job.
No, that's what I was saying. Like, if it's a labor of love, obviously, like, he doesn't love it that much. So.
There it is.
Yeah, no,
There it is.
it looks good to me.
Oh, hey,
I see the
can I
love
catch
of the
one?
labor.
Oh,
Oh, you can talk to Rob here.
what do you need?
Did I catch one?
Catch one what?
Yet he's
Beer?
still by the
Why
fridge.
don't you use your words?
He's still
Yeah,
got to
right.
do fridge duty.
I'll take another one too. Fuck it.
He's got to
real
do
word.
fridge duty.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna hit the current events off with this. It's not. No one knows about it except us, so it's current events for us. But next Saturday, the 24th, we signed up our very own Raff for a mild, very mild wing eating contest.
I thought that was tomorrow.
Who,
No.
me?
No, the 24th.
You sure?
You can't count
Absolutely.
for shit, Rob, today.
The
What the fuck?
24th. Yeah.
Y'all signed me up for what?
27, 24.
Yeah, you skipped the meeting, so you got voluntold that you're doing this.
Fuck
Yeah.
it.
It's very mild, so get ready. You got this. You're probably gonna be the
Guy
only
said
man.
45 minutes. a
Dude, we're
spoonful,
paying for you to
45
eat
minutes.
chicken wings and a free beer.
All
2
right.
free beers.
Oh, yeah, 2 free beers.
2 free beers.
And
Oh,
It's going to be
and some
enjoying on our end.
chicken
See you dunking
So
and
August
chugging in wings.
24th.
chugging wings.
It's going to be at Eureka Heights Brewery. So Google it. It's we'll
yeah,
see you there.
Eureka Heights. We've been live streaming Miss Pac-Man from there. We've got
Oh, yeah, that's right.
we've
I
got
did that.
some we've got some great
Welcome.
stuff. I know this whole Houston versus Dallas thing is kind of taking on a life of its own, trying to make it worthwhile to do and entertaining. But we had some great ideas pop up. I think it's kind of shifted roles into kind of a whole new life, and it's going to be really interesting to see when we get this thing going. When it actually happens, it's going to be a ton of fun. We're getting some. We've been in talks with the guys over at Eureka Heights to try to host this thing and turn it into something bigger than I imagined it to be the first time. But it's going to be cool. So more details to come on that when we have them finalized. Our participant list maybe shifting. We don't know yet, depending on dates that we nail this thing down to. But it will be a lot of fun. Audience participation is now a factor, so stay tuned for that. We may have a like an episode 25 dot 2.
There you go. Yeah.
Just a short little
just like a comic book.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
fucking 2.0.
Yeah, I wonder if it wouldn't be a bad idea to get each team together. Like get the teams together and do like a little mini episode just so they can talk shit to each other and kind of hype this.
That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be cool, right?
But that means we have to be around the Dallas fans.
I can stomach it for long enough.
I don't know, man.
They're all right. I mean, as much as y'all talk, as much gold as y'all dump on Ray Valdez, I mean, he's got to be just the belle of the ball. I mean,
he's ready. He's been telling me, he's like, I'm fucking ready. I'm fucking ready. He's like, Rob, sweet hot. He's ready.
Well, pull your fucking bootstraps on because it ain't going to be as easy as you think it's going to be.
Get him, Ray. Get him. Go get him.
Yeah, but look out for that. It's going to be fun, guys.
Yeah, so Eureka Heights Brewing over, obviously, in the Heights of Houston. That's why it's called Eureka Heights. Next, the 24th, do we have a time? We'll post it on the website.
It starts. It's an event from 7 to 9.
7 to 9. It's for their 2-year anniversary. Eureka Heights 2-year anniversary.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You don't know? Okay.
You're asking me. I thought you were announcing that.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was for.
Oh, okay.
It's not just they threw a hot wing eating contest. They're not a fucking chicken wing place. It's not Hooters.
Hey, I'll do it for fun. I mean, let's see Raff's face.
Raff's going to have a blast.
Oh, yeah. In more ways than one.
Oh, I've got those selfie sticks. We're going to get in real close with the GoPros.
All right.
Get in there.
Damn, I can't wait to hear this.
My ears are on fire. Fuck it.
All right, onward to current events. Raff, what you got for us?
Oh, shite. Well, hey, this is news to me, too. I didn't even know this was coming out, but Season 3 of True Detective is done shooting. So that's pretty
What is
interesting.
True Detective?
You never heard of True Detective?
HBO.
It was an HBO show. Like the
Is
first
it good?
season. The first season did real well.
Yeah.
Now the problem
Very
was
good.
the second season, it felt kind of short to the audience. They didn't really enjoy it too much. I enjoyed it because it showed Vince Vaughn being a fucking badass, like a leader of a fucking...
Is Vince Vaughn related to Vince Vaughn?
Did I fuck that name up? Did I fuck that name up?
Vince Vaughn.
Vaughn. Okay, yeah, I fucked that way up, didn't I? I think they're related. I think they are, man. I think they are. I want to say yes.
Nice.
Yeah, but season 3, I came across that. They said they're done shooting. It's based out of they shot on location in Arkansas, and it's gonna be
Very proud of themselves.
This season is gonna be shot in like 3 different time periods. So it should be interesting. It's about the dark, deep, dirty crime of the Ozarks is what they.
Oh, nice.
What they said.
So speaking of crimes and stuff like that, I finally had a chance
You
to
did a crime?
watch Evil Genius on Netflix.
Oh shit, dude! That's a good documentary.
I watched half of Making a Murderer, and I had to turn it off. I couldn't take it anymore. Especially when I found out there's like basically no resolution at the end of that thing.
Making a Murderer. Is that the one with the Steven guy?
Yeah,
that's-
Stephen Avery.
Stephen Avery,
That's
yeah.
classic Rob. He's got separation anxiety, anxiety of like resolution anxiety.
Yeah.
He can't wait. Like I have to Google this shit now. 20 seconds of the movie, I can't take it anymore.
Rob already knows the ending to Captain Marvel.
He spoils himself.
I do. I can't take it. I have completion anxiety. Like,
Okay, there we
I have
go.
to-
Completion anxiety.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah, you said it.
Well,
the show's gonna star. I can't pronounce his fucking name. Marshala Ali. Do you know what I'm talking
Has
about?
he been in anything else?
Fuck me. He was in that movie.
Now is
Moonlight.
this isn't a documentary series. This is
No,
more
no,
like
no. No,
like Law and Order based on events or something.
no, I think it's just fiction, man. Straight
It's
up
all
fiction.
straight up
Straight
fiction.
fiction?
Yeah, yeah.
Straight
Okay.
fiction, yeah. But what do you call it? Stephen Dorff is going to be there, and the daughter of Mel Streep, Mamie Gummer or some shit like that.
Mamie.
Yeah, but yeah, she's going to be in it, so should be interesting.
Nice,
I like True Detective.
Okay,
Look
cool.
forward to that.
Other than that, Six Underground, which is going to be the new Netflix highest budget movie they're going to make. That's going to be starring Ryan Reynolds, directed by Michael Bay.
Typical.
And
Really?
it's going to be written by what the fuck is the name? Paul Wernick and Brett
Martin.
Reese. I don't know.
What's the name?
You wrote that and you can't read it?
Hey, sometimes
That's
I fuck
just
up my
like
own
me.
handwriting. Anyhow, those are the
My
two guys
handwriting
that
is
wrote
terrible.
Deadpool 1 and 2. They were
Oh,
behind
nice.
Deadpool 1 and 2. So
Did y'all like Deadpool 2?
I have not seen
I did.
Deadpool 2 yet.
I did.
I know.
I haven't yet.
But yeah, that movie's coming out. It's going to be budgeted at $150 million.
Where does Netflix get this fucking money? At $7 a month, there can't be that much money
They have a
flowing
lot
into
of money.
Netflix.
There's a lot of revenue, buddy.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna do
Yeah.
the math.
So far, the highest one that they've
Don't,
done
please.
is Bright, and that one is with the.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. With
How many people live in the United States?
Oh man, you're the wrong
We're not
guy.
doing this shit.
I am.
Michael Bay, $150 million. You know, anything quarter to a $250 million.
Well, with Michael, if anything's attached to Michael Bay, they're
It's
getting that budget.
It's budget, exactly.
They're getting that budget.
What's the budget? $6 million. I'm fucking out of here.
Yeah, I'm out of here. I mean, but even that just tells you the budget doesn't mean shit if you're going to produce shit like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1 and 2.
Yeah, no, that's his thing.
You
That's
shut your whore mouth. I like both of those movies.
Get out of your own studio. One was 2 was terrible, man. I'm sorry.
Not enough
That's
bra
just-
for you? Or?
What? Deadpool?
No, Ninja Turtles.
Oh.
We're talking about with Kino in the early '90s, and that's 2 was the best. Secret of the Ooze. Yeah. What? Again, get out of your own studio.
Turtles in Time, number 3. I'm kidding.
Oh, he
When they
goes
go to
to
Japan.
JK. No, number 1 was the best because Corey Feldman did the voice of Donatello.
Yeah. Yeah, then
Oh, I didn't
where's
know
Corey
that.
Feldman now with his Angels? he's off the juice.
So if at $9 a month,
God damn it, you're
still
still on
with
this
us?
shit.
yeah, if Netflix, if everybody in America subscribed to Netflix, that's $325
But that's
million.
that's the basic. They go up.
They go up, yeah.
The prices go up. But
That's why I said average. It's
Okay.
only $8, and
Okay.
like you can do
Okay,
like 15
all
or
right.
20.
Sorry, I missed that part. Go.
So like they have plenty of fucking.
No,
money.
they have plenty of money, yeah.
So-
So in case you guys didn't notice, today's is someone's birthday. It's Lois Lane.
I was
I
like,
wanna be-
shit, was it somebody
Amy
here? I fucking
Adams?
forgot.
No,
I feel
Lois
like
Lane
an
in
asshole.
general in the comic book.
Oh.
Today's her birthday.
Scaring
So
me.
who would you think is the best actress that played Lois Lane? Amy Adams. You got
Margot Kidder.
Margot Kidder.
I'm gonna go with Margot
R.I.P. You got that awesome Lois Lane, Kate Bosworth from Superman Returns.
You
Oh,
mean
yeah.
the chick with the 2 different colored eyes?
I think so.
Oh,
Yes.
that's nice.
And you also got Terry Hatcher.
Oh, I'm gonna
That
go with
sounded
Terry
bad.
Hatcher. I'm
Terry
gonna change my vote from Margot Kidder to Terry Hatcher.
Yeah, okay.
That's my dude. Superman, the real life adventures of Lois and Clark or whatever the fuck it was called. That was a good fucking show.
The drama one?
Yeah, with isn't he like a Hispanic Clark Kent?
Yeah.
He's Hispanic like Paul's Hispanic. All right.
Yeah,
you.
it's hilarious. So,
I'll take
like he
it,
also did
I
Ripley's
guess.
Believe It or Not host.
I thought that was
Yeah, Dean
Wood-
Cain.
Dean Cain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're talking
Oh.
about.
With Terry Hatcher.
Oh yeah, that was on TNT, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched that. Yeah.
Loser.
Yeah. Thank you. I didn't watch any of the other Superman, so fuck
Fucking
you. You
loser.
know, I don't know which one. You know.
Well, happy birthday, Lois Lane.
No, not for me. Not fucking real.
And your mother-in-law named Martha, also Bruce Wayne's mother.
Coincidence.
Fucking shit. Anything on the news?
Okay. Oh, also, this is interesting. Corona Beer, the owner is dropping $4 billion into a cannabis company based out of Canada.
You know, I read part of this article. Go ahead.
Yeah, but they're investing $4 billion, and the company's called. Let me get this right.
The Canopy Growth Company.
Yeah, Canopy Growth Company, and a year ago they dropped $200 million. Not sure, but that was for the startup so that they can create a beer based just non-alcoholic and cannabis based.
So here's a little piece of information for you. R.J. Reynolds Company years ago hinged their bets that marijuana legalization was going to happen at some point. So they were so sure that it was going to happen, they wanted to get ahead of the game, that there is a factory, one of their older factories that they had, they converted it. It's sitting dormant, waiting on marijuana legalization.
Oh, shit.
To make Marlboro Tijuana Reds. That's what
Tijuana.
they are.
It's pronounced Tijuana too, dipshit.
All right. That's
Hollywood.
I'm white enough to...
Doesn't matter. That's a Hollywood stereotype, I know.
Well, go on.
Thanks for ruining my story, Paul.
Go on.
You do
Anyway,
that to me.
they're just waiting to turn the machines on, basically.
Okay.
Like, it's ready to go. Like, the day that marijuana gets legalized, the next day you'll be able to buy that shit from Marlboro on the shelves.
Nice.
Probably.
Very nice.
Nice.
Damn.
But yeah, what's it called?
And what are they called again?
Tijuana
Ooh,
Red.
gotcha.
That was good.
That was a good one.
Yeah, but
I was gonna say Tijuana as well.
yeah, there's
It's okay,
no
Raff.
Fuck you guys.
no information on
For no
what the
reason.
beer is going to be
Not because of
called.
that.
But Southern California, there's already a brewery company called Two Roots, and they're already experimenting with the non-alcoholic cannabis-based beer.
Nice. Okay.
So yeah, they started up in 2018, and there's rumors that Coors is going to dip their toes in it too. So,
Well, of course they are.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
they
Bud
are.
Light.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean they're already brewing in Colorado, so it's already legal there.
Yeah.
yeah.
You would think that they'll be the
Yep,
first
yep,
one.
yep,
Yeah.
Oh, yum.
Oh,
Shit.
Do you have Aretha Franklin dying on your list?
Yes. I was going to get to that. Yes, and
why is she last on your list?
she's not last on my list. I
Damn
have a
it.
list. Like
You racist
I'm jumping back and
motherfucker.
forth. You know what? Well, fuck off. So yes, Aretha Franklin passed away as of August 2016 and 2000.
16.
I
What?
fucked that way.
Jesus
August.
Christ, man. Fucking moron.
Oh my bad. I've only had
God
one beer.
damn,
One beer, and I'm fucked. aren't
August
I?
16th.
A whole beer?
August,
16th.
yeah, August 16, 2016.
Actually, I would like a
Christ.
beer too. Please, doll face.
There
want
you
at the
go.
table.
There you
Oh,
go.
you gotta. But yeah,
Aretha Franklin.
she passed away due to
Oh,
cancer
Yep.
Wiggle like
at
that.
the
Yeah,
age of
thank
76. So
You know,
70, rest in peace, Queen of
rest in
Soul.
peace.
if I could live to 76,
I
I'm
can't
happy.
find
If
it.
I live past 76, somebody shoot me because I'm probably going to be. I had this discussion the other night. Like,
Don't worry about it. Technology is going to be enough by the
I
time
don't want to live that.
I know.
far.
No,
Like,
you don't have to live that far, but you can. Your body
even if I'm not
can be-
incontinent, I'm just going to start pissing and shitting myself until
Your
somebody
body-
poisons me.
by then the technology will be so great
I
that
do that
it'll
shit now.
shorten. Okay, you know what? That's cool for you guys. You know, I'm in on it. You know, just fucking. I'm not gonna tell you guys.
Shit.
I can't.
About 6 more beers, I'll be pissing and shitting myself out there.
So it doesn't matter then. Either way,
As long as it's not in here.
that's how you christen a table, though.
So I've been saving this one, but Danzig died.
And
He did?
Well, a guy
When?
named Robert J. Danzig.
You fucking asshole!
Nice. That's a good one. I like that.
He was the head of Hearst newspaper, is a no-name newspaper company. But I saw that headline come across my my news feed, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, you troll motherfuckers!"
Yeah.
Anyway,
Can that body get cold before y'all start, poking at it? Shit.
There's another death. Actually, the voice of Professor Oak in Japan of Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He passed away. His name is
Yeah, you can't read it.
Unsho.
It looks like you wrote that shit in
Zakataka.
Japanese.
Anyhow, he passed away. He was also the voice of Dragon Ball Z, Mr. Satan,
Dragon
and
Balls.
what's it called? Hitachi Hiramisha from Tekken.
Oh, nice,
So,
nice.
yeah, he passed away at 68.
He had a very productive life.
Also died of cancer. So
Also, the Anvil.
Oh,
yeah.
Jim the Anvil Neihart, man. Yeah, you know what's crazy? The Hart Foundation. We're talking about wrestling here. Bret Hart's the only one kicking, man. Owen died. Brian Pillman died. British Bulldog died. Jim the Anvil Neihart died.
Yeah,
That sucks. So
it does. You know who else died? the inspiration for that guy from Suicide Squad with all the tattoos that did the fire thing. The
He didn't
inspiration
die.
for his character. The
Oh, the inspiration for his character.
Yeah, the zombie boy guy. That guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he died earlier this month.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Ink poisoning or what? No, I'm curious. I don't know.
No other detail. No other details were released, but
trying to be
I'm
morbid
assuming
here.
I'm assuming that he, started a shotgun. But
Kurt Cobain style.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
Allegedly, yeah.
Conspiracy theory. Whatever. Yeah.
What else we
Anything
got?
Anything else on the news front?
Amazon is Amazon is looking into. Well, it's a leaked source saying that they're looking into buying the Landmark Theaters.
Theater, yeah.
They're looking
Oh,
into
that's
buy
right.
that. And so this would not be the first line of buildings buying, because they bought Whole Foods.
Amazon bought Whole Foods.
Yeah, they bought Whole Foods.
Well,
This is,
don't they do
shocked.
that Prime food shipping stuff?
I don't know.
Like Amazon Food or something like that?
No, I never heard of that.
Where they deliver food, groceries and stuff like that?
wow.
I think so, yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
Prime Now.
Prime Now is that 1 hour deal, but no, I think they have a little food shipping thing with Amazon. I don't know.
You know,
Nice.
Whatever.
but yeah, they own Whole Foods and a couple bookstores.
Good for them in the bookstores.
It's crazy how
I know,
Amazon
right?
People
was.
gotta fucking read
Well, no, how
couple of
Amazon was a bookstore.
That's
you know?
where the real money's going.
a
coming
couple of bookstores.
Yeah, they were
Not a lot.
They were bookstores, and now they've expanded
That's
into
crazy.
everything. You know what's really funny? Speaking of I'm going to veer us off topic, but I'm going to stay in
Do
current
it.
events. All right. Speaking of like these huge businesses and stuff like that, I've been following real closely this this story with James Gunn. If everybody,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so James Gunn,
Headline.
Disney fired James Gunn for absolutely no reason. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. For tweets that were like 3 or 4 years old.
Close to a decade
10
old.
years old.
Close to a
It was like
decade old.
I didn't even know
years.
Twitter was
What
that
were you
old.
doing 10 years ago? We were all probably jerking each other off.
I wasn't jerking y'all off,
Yeah.
but I was definitely jerking off.
Within contact.
I was
Yes.
definitely watching.
Actually, you know what? 10 years ago, so I found out it was yesterday. 10 years ago yesterday was the first date I had with Melissa after she moved back from Seattle.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
So it was shortly after that we started.
Yes,
that
because I remember you were telling me about
started
that.
yamming.
Yeah, man.
that's crazy, 'cause-
Yeah, man.
That's crazy, because I remember you were bringing that up, saying that, I'm going back with my high school sweetheart or something like that. And
It was right around
Wow.
that time.
Damn.
that's crazy.
Cool.
We've known each other that long?
Yeah, longer than that.
Well, longer than that.
It's in
You're
high
right. It
school,
was
right?
longer than
Yeah,
that.
because like 2002, 2003.
Yeah. When we first met
When
you
we
over
first
in
met at the
Baytown.
at Yava Yaz.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
man.
right.
Did you,
Yeah, Super
did
Bowl
you-
Sunday.
Rob, did you get a speech impediment all of a sudden? What's
Yeah,
going on?
I'm trying to talk to them on their
Yama
level.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, thank you. That's very respectful.
Well,
Gracias, senor.
I mean, that's for you guys, yeah. You're fucking welcome. Huh? A little gratitude.
no, thank you. I appreciate
That's
that.
all we have for you is a little of
We
anything.
can hand you racism like nothing and just thank you. What
Thank
the
you.
fuck was that?
Thank you. I appreciate it. To feed
Actually,
off
he
that,
did all the racism, but
to
yeah.
feed off that James Gunn.
Oh yeah, back to
Yeah,
James Gunn.
sorry.
Did they're not hiring him back on,
No.
right?
No, but
no.
so the whole cast was like hiring back on. All these people have written all these letters, and Disney's like, it's not happening. But and Dave Bautista threatened to quit if they didn't at least use his script, which they already said they are using his script. And I'm sure he won't be directing, but I'm sure they'll bring him on as like some under the table
yeah,
paid
of course.
fucking
Under an alias
casino
name?
style.
Did you see that? Did you see that Onion article or whoever posted it? Like Disney fires James Gunn from Guardians of the Galaxy 3. New director is a guy named Jimmy Buns or whatever, and it's a picture of James Gunn with a fake mustache.
Nice. The Onion would do that. That's fucking hilarious.
Well, to feed off that James Gunn topic, you got Chris Hardwick from The Talking Dead being rehired back onto AMC to host The Talking Dead because he was, I guess, fired temporarily because
His
of
tweets
some-
weren't as bad. They're like,
No,
he wasn't
didn't
that bad.
He didn't even tweet. I think someone wrote an essay about him, about being like putting himself strong on her, and I don't know the whole story.
Wrote
but,
an essay.
well, yeah, she on her Twitter feed and whatnot.
Okay.
So they hired him back on. One of the producers of the show quit because she was pissed off that, he got back on because of sexual harassment that he did with that ex-girlfriend and whatnot. But
okay.
Yeah, that's him.
Well, good for him.
Good for him. Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. Fucking Indian givers, I guess.
One of the largest pieces of news kind of hit everything. It's not secret, so I can talk about it. My boss, tweeted about taking the company private.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Did you hear about that? So,
yeah,
who's your boss?
Something about
for people that
Hank Scorpio.
Old Muskie.
Oh, Muskie, oh pal.
Hank Scorpio.
Hank Scorpio.
As we like to call him, Uncle Elon.
Uncle Elon.
Nobody calls him Hank Scorpio though.
No, nobody.
Not
calls
yet.
Him that.
Not yet. Not yet. Okay.
Nobody. Period.
Let me know when the day happens. I'll start it.
It won't.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I will. It's a war.
So that's major, ramifications. I think just going forward. I'm not really sure. I can't speak of what's going on internally. They don't really, honestly, they really don't tell us much of anything. Like he tweets stuff, and then there's press announcements, and then we get an email, a couple hours later explaining it. So it's not like we're privy to any information before anybody else. But
right.
It's definitely like his intentions behind it are basically explained as. Our stock is short sold very highly,
right?
And taking us private would take the volatility out of it and let the company do what it's supposed to be doing.
And for those that don't know Elon Musk, you can just say Google his name, or
everybody.
Not everybody does.
Yeah, not every. So
he's not that godlike. Come on.
He's the leader of Tesla, the company
leader
that
is
I
good.
work
The
for,
leader is
and
great.
SpaceX. Private company with shareholders is what his model for Tesla would be. SpaceX kind of already operates that way, so
right.
It's interesting. We'll see how things go going forward.
Very nice.
There's some major things going on with Tesla in the news and stuff lately with kind of those kind of things and promises that were made, and we'll see if they're kept. And it's interesting. Excellent.
Nice. Burn finger.
So we'll see how things we'll see how things play out going forward. I think Paul's in for the next year. Paul's going to have a hard on for Tesla again.
Oh yeah.
Well, speaking on Paul, it's great to have him back on this show.
Yeah, thanks for showing up today.
I did. I was last time. We talked about this.
Yeah, we talked about your excessive drinking. We talked about. I'm just kidding.
Piece of shit. Stating facts.
Paul doesn't get drunk. Paul gets awesome.
There you go.
So, all right. What's next on the list? Is that it? Are we done?
If y'all want to go ahead and cut it off, we can we got
nothing. I got nothing.
I got nothing else. We're
like 25, 30 minutes.
We're getting pretty close to. We should be getting a Captain Marvel trailer here pretty soon. So here's something I wanted to talk about real quick while we're on that subject. The release dates for those movies. So Captain Marvel's release date is like March 23rd or something like that, 25th, 23rd.
Uh-huh.
And like Avengers 4 is like May 8th. It's like they're like back to back.
That's awesome.
So you may be able to see both of them in the theater on the same day.
Probably, yeah. That would be something crazy. That's never happened before.
I don't know why they have the release dates set so close. Maybe they'll bump Captain Marvel forward. Maybe they'll do like a December.
Well, they usually have a superhero like movie in May for free comic book day.
Well, that's what Infinity War did.
Exactly.
So, but like Black Panther came out in February. Like what?
Right.
I would think that they would like bump it back. So
I'll say, eat your heart out, DC. You're fucking slacking.
Oh yeah, DC sucks. I had a conversation with some people about this the other day.
Yeah. Well. We'll see.
Well, the Aquaman trailer looks fucking awesome.
We talked about that already, didn't we?
Yeah, we
did.
Okay, fine.
I just fucking with you.
I got a hard on for Jason Momoa.
I just fucking with you.
We could tell. I could tell right now.
You can hide it all you want, dude.
Bruh.
I haven't even seen it, actually. I haven't seen the trailer.
You haven't watched it?
No.
You should watch it. It's really good.
I don't know. It's just the bra kind of gets to me.
What? He's Hawaiian.
I'm not saying he's a phony.
You act like he says
It's
it that way too.
It's even worse.
All right.
He's the real deal.
Current events is over. Onward to the
let's go
meat
and
and
pass it
potato
on,
of the
then.
shows. All right.
Yeah.
We have in studio tonight a very special guest. Paul, why don't you take the reins on this one?
Oh, yeah. Our next guest today in studio is a dear friend of some of us. And at one point, he was under the supervision of Victory Records and under the outfit named Before There Was Rosalyn. Please welcome my good friend, Jeremy Wurts.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Woo! Victory Records, yeah.
Nice.
You like that introduction?
Yeah, it was good.
Under the
Thank
supervision, like you're, prisoned.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later. We'll definitely get into that later. So yeah,
So just some backstory. Fill us in on kind of
How the hell do you know?
Well, let's start with Victory Records. Like, what are some other bands that were on Victory Records? Let's start there first, and then we can kind of backpedal and go forward from there. So what were some other bands that are on that label?
A few of the other bands that were on the label was Killswitch Engage. They originally first started on the
I didn't
label,
know that.
and then
That's crazy.
Then they went on to a different one. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, Roadrunner.
And then let's see, A Day to Remember. They're on there. Taking Back Sunday. Hawthorne Heights.
Hawthorne Heights. I was just
Yeah.
about to say,
Big,
Hawthorne
yeah.
Heights. Okay.
Bayside was on there. I think.
Yeah.
at one point.
Bayside
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Very
They
nice.
were
Nice.
on the record label too.
All right. So why don't you take us through like how you know Jeremy and all that kind of stuff. Let's bring us up to snuff.
Up to snuff.
Yeah, no, me and Jeremy and Jacob actually go back because one of our projects, we were in a music project together called Tomorrow's Goodbye. That was from like 2004 to 2005. And me and Jacob played guitar, and a buddy of ours, Will and Lewis, they played drums and bass. We needed a vocalist, so we put an ad out on HoustonBands.net. I know you remember that. I know you remember that, right, Rob? I think it's still up, actually.
Is it really?
It's still up, yeah.
Oh,
it's still up.
Yeah.
And
that's old
we put an
school.
ad out for a vocalist, and then Jeremy responded, and I was like, "Who's this fucking beaner?" Like we're like, I don't know, man. Just
Far from it.
yeah, exactly. Far from it. He just kind of looks. I don't know. This is the way that the sun hits you sometimes, Jeremy. Just,
Okay, I got you.
Just
It's
the beaner's
probably-
like,
it might
what?
be because I work outside all the time.
yeah, just like, oh, well, you think you're bad. Look at Raff's skin tone. He's been sheltered for 7 years, and he's
Ow.
still dark as fuck.
I didn't even recognize him.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, Raff. You saw my confused face.
I got out of the car, yeah. So,
guy?
we go back since like 2004 to 2005.
Yeah, long time.
And and then we were in I don't know, how do you want to describe it, Jacob? Like we're like screamo.
it was like
post-hardcore,
progressive,
it was-
post-hardcore.
Yeah, it was a mix, man, between
Yeah.
like Census Fell and
I would say
Thrice.
definitely some Thrice, yeah.
Definitely a lot
Thrice,
of Thrice influence there. I think the whole entire band was big on Thrice back in 03.
Yeah, big time.
I think every
yeah.
band was big on Thrice back in
yeah.
03.
I mean, and
Oh,
that was really like, I know that they have been a band for such a long time, but I discovered them in probably 02 into 03 at Warped Tour when they came through Houston. That was the first time I ever saw them live.
That was they had the opening slot.
Yes.
Yeah, they played right at noon, and then the
Yeah.
Ataris played right
And
next to them. I remember that.
that was such-
the
Oh,
first
shit.
time I ever
You
saw
guys are
them.
there.
That was
Rest in
such a
peace.
solid show, and I saw
That was a
at
super huge
Warped Tour
pit that
too.
day.
I mean, it was a pretty cool experience to see them live, and I've seen them 100 times like after that.
Yeah.
But-
yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
You know
Yeah.
what I recall about that kind of era in music is
It was good.
so every band wanted to redefine what the genre of music that they were in. So like you would say like, well, what kind of music do you do? And like all these every single band would be like, oh well, we're this. Like it would be some brand new,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
like
screamo,
genres.
post-hardcore,
subgenres and
post,
shit.
Yeah, like I'm death metal.
post-punk, what
Yeah.
all
Exactly.
the, all
I mean,
the, you know what I mean?
back in like 03, 04, every band, every
That's a good point.
local band, they were all doing like the Unearthed, like Norman Jean.
Yeah,
like,
big time.
You know what band I really dug?
stuff.
What I really dug back then, the band that I really dug, there was a Houston band called Leaf. And
I heard it. Yeah,
they were more like an Incubus type kind of band.
Yeah.
Those guys were pretty dope. I thought about them the other day.
Oh yeah, Leaf.
Yeah, there's some good local bands. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Houston music scene, man.
Yeah.
Back then, I was
playing.
Huh?
I mean, back when music was still playing at shows,
Yeah, I
man,
mean,
you can go to like
I think there still is. It's just
it's
so
not
out
as
of
much
touch.
as it was, man.
But we're so out of touch. I don't know.
I
feel
look,
like,
man. I
really?
look. I really do look. And
Do you
everybody's
feel
playing.
the same way,
at the Scout
Jeremy?
Bar.
Like as far as like the
I
local scene, it's kind of died out. Like since we did it like 15 years ago.
I think absolutely. I mean, if you try and find venue to play at now, like you're not going to find Java Jazz. You're not going to find
Engine Room.
I mean, Fitzgerald's. It just closed its doors.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they sold some
This
property.
week.
Or they're trying to sell the property.
When was that?
This week.
No
Property's up for
shit.
sale.
Are you really?
I didn't
For
know
real?
that.
Yes. They
Well,
just closed.
okay, so the whole deal with Fitzgerald's is that Zelda Fitzgerald has owned that for forever, but Pegstar Concerts is who owned the sound system and everything in there and promoted everything. They pulled out. They had a huge falling out. They pulled out and built White Oak Music Hall.
Oh,
That's why White Oak looks on the
Yeah.
inside
It
like a
has
really, really nice
upstairs-
Fitzgerald.
upstairs and downstairs,
Yeah.
but it's flip flopped.
Yeah, so it's one of those things like she tried to do it on her own. I didn't hear that Fitzgerald's was done. That's
Damn,
fucking
a lot of
hard.
good
so-
times there.
R.I.P.
Man. A lot of
I
good
didn't. Yeah, I've
times.
had so.
R.I.P.
I remember going to shows punk shows. I saw so many good punk shows there, where you're jumping up and the fucking floors
like,
flexing.
it's like a trampoline.
Yeah, well, you played at Fitzgerald's a lot too, right?
Yeah, we played at Fitzgerald's lots of times, upstairs and downstairs.
Yeah.
I mean, both stages were awesome. I think upstairs definitely had an amazing sound system, and the sound guy that worked there, like, hats off to him because he always did an amazing job. Yeah. I mean, whenever we were doing our thing in Tomorrow's Goodbye, you know, we would always book shows at this place called Cardi's 2000, which is closed now. It was off of 59.
That place was a piece of shit.
59 in business. It was a piece of crap, but that sound
had
system
character.
was amazing. That was
It wasn't
the
hard.
sound
You know,
guy-
back then it wasn't really hard to have a good sound system. You just have a lot of wattage and you just turn the
Man,
bass
what are you
up
trying
a
to
lot.
say?
was, is
Ruben
this-
didn't know what he's doing?
Ruben,
Sound guy?
Ruben,
Ruben
knew how to mix.
Yeah.
Ruben's
Yeah.
great. No,
I mean, and another sound guy, and I'll shout out because you know he's still a really good friend of mine. Is Henrique that worked at Java Jazz. He did such a great job mixing all kinds of bands. It didn't matter what style you were. Like, if you were like the crappiest band, he would make you sound better.
No
Like,
shit.
He was that.
That's
good.
what a good
why it
sound
sounds-
guy does.
Yeah, well, yeah, nice, yeah.
And now he's living out in part of Italy now with his wife and his kid.
Well, the name Enrique,
So-
I think I'd be living in Illinois
Yeah.
too, man. Shit.
I think he said Italy, not Illinois.
He did say Italy. I did say Italy.
Oh, I thought you said Illinois.
Italy.
Oh. Illinois, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That sounds like they would have welcomed that name there too.
So
You're aiming high,
the
aren't you,
last
Paul?
time,
Yeah.
the last
Aiming
time I
high.
played
Yes, I am.
Cardi's 2000, they had this rule. This fucking club had this rule. You could not promo your shows on stage unless they were at Cardi's. So you
I
couldn't
don't
be
remember
like,
that.
I'm playing somewhere else.
You couldn't be
Yeah.
like, hey, if you like us, we're playing at Fitzgerald's next
you
week
know
or
what?
I
whatever.
think I remember
I
that.
do remember
that.
So
Yeah, I think I
three
do
songs
remember
into
that.
our set, I didn't read the fucking thing. You know what I mean? 3 songs into our
wonder you
set.
ate 'em.
3 songs into our set. I'm trying to hype this big show we have at Fitzgerald's like the next week, right?
Yeah.
And they're like after I get done, like we play another song. They're like you hear come over the monitor. One more song, guys. I'm like, what the fuck? We're like
Yeah, I remember hearing those
10
calls.
minutes into the
I
fucking
remember those
set.
calls.
That his
yeah.
Ruben's low, deep voice.
Yeah, yeah.
Last song.
Yeah, take your time, brother. Once he heard those words, you got the respect from Ruben.
you knew
that
you're good.
you're good.
I'll play here all
He
night.
lets you
Fuck
play
it.
all fucking
Fuck the
night.
other bands. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember we went over our set time because he freaking loved our band so much.
Yeah, we did. We went over like an hour because
So-
we played there so many goddamn times. It's the only place that book us.
Did you ever play the White Swan?
Yeah, we played there too.
Oh, fuck
Yeah,
that place.
Yeah.
Fuck booking shit.
That place is still duping bands into paying to play at that place.
Oh my God! Really paying to play?
Paying to play. So Fitzgerald's used to do that back in the day. So you would play downstairs. They did new bands, showcasing new local bands, and I mean new local bands, like never had a show before. Local bands downstairs.
That's cool.
I think the first or last Sunday of the month. So let's call it the first Sunday of the month, whatever it was. So you would pay $50 and to play downstairs at, I think it was called Zelda's at the time. So you would pay $50 to play, and if you brought in 25 people, like they would book you for the next month, you know what I mean? And you pay $50 to play there again. Hold on. Crazy. So, and then if you brought in 25 people for that show, they gave you your $100 back.
Okay.
So you had to pay to play twice and bring in the minimum number of people, and then they gave you your money back. It was basically like a deposit.
Okay.
And then once you could do that, then they would book you as an opener for a bigger band downstairs during the week or on one of the weekends or something like that they were having a show. You'd be on that rotation. And then once you got whatever the minimum number of people were for that, then they would book you as a headliner downstairs. And then once you got the minimum number of people for that, they would book you as an opener for bands upstairs, and that's how you moved up from playing. You know, that's how you moved up, and fans were really supportive back then. You know, if you street teamed really hard, and you know you had people out there passing out flyers, you know, after concerts at Fitzgerald's and you know all the other venues, you know, up in the Woodlands and shit. And
Fitzgerald's could do that though.
None of that happens no more. You don't. See
there's no scene.
I don't. Especially like look at the platform for Facebook. I mean, there's a bunch of bands on there, but I don't see their like fans or anyone posting like, you know, about local shows in Houston.
That's true. That's true. That's a good
Houston,
point.
just Houston alone, because there's no venues.
Yeah,
they're all shutting down.
Like,
that makes sense.
Java Jazz is gone. Fitzgerald's it's gone.
Well, name the venues that you could play. You could play at Scout's Bar, right?
Yeah, Scout Bar's probably the only.
And
Acadia.
Yeah.
No, there's Acadia.
North Concert Cafe
Last Concert Cafe.
Remember I had my 30th birthday party there.
But BFE,
that's still around.
That's
Wait,
still around.
That's still around or defunct
that's still
now?
Around. No, that's still around that you could play.
Okay, no, I can name of a shitload of other ones that
you could have played.
Fuel Cyber Cafe, that's not around.
Oh yeah, in Humboldt. I remember that fucking dump. Yeah, that was a great place.
Fuel Cyber Cafe.
Yeah, Fuel.
I remember that dump.
We saw War of Ages there.
Oh, that place.
Yeah.
Do you remember Sidecar Pub?
It was War of Ages and
there's some good places.
No, I missed that one. It was another one. Like this, like I saw him like 10 years ago.
I think it was War of Ages and like the Chariot or something like that.
Yeah, I think they toured with one big band. Like there's.
It was a small.
I don't know. It's all over the place.
It was when they very first started.
We're gonna say something, Rob. Sorry.
Well, I'm just saying, like, there's some other places. You know, we were talking about Acadia, Scout Bar, BFE, which used to be FBI.
I think Jet Lounge is still around, and they revived Engine Room. It's like a dance club or some shit.
It was Engine Room shut down for a long time.
Yeah, but I think I passed by it like earlier this year.
I played Engine Room a lot.
I believe
they had a good sound system.
Yeah,
it was from Paul.
Dude, how much you got?
Paul.
I'll never forget that motherfucker.
Worst
sound guy
I don't know
ever.
if you guys remember this show. When we played at the Engine Room, we played with 36 Crazy Fists. You guys remember that show?
We played with 36
We did?
Was that y'all or was it? No, that was actually Before There Was Rosalyn.
That was definitely not us.
And you were there.
Cool.
I think that you went to that show.
Are you flexing?
I know you were a big fan.
Are you flexing that cock, man?
Dude, flex away, man.
Hey, he's barely starting, man. This is just 36 Crazy Fists. Nice. Great eyes there.
They're from Alaska, right?
Yeah.
Crazy Fists?
Yeah. And they drove from Alaska in their van and trailer.
A bag of that.
Well, I didn't know at the Engine Room.
Dedication, man.
Their tour van had Alaskan plates on it, dude.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
and they were so good live.
Well, I do know at Engine Room, I went for a show. We were playing, and the doors were locked, and it was for Oleander. We were playing with Oleander, but they canceled. So they're like, "Fuck it, we're not gonna
Wait,
open
what
up the
show
doors."
was this? Oh, was this what you,
for Tomorrow's Goodbye? We were playing
Really?
the show, and we saw the sign. And it said, it was
Oleander?
Oleander. Yes,
You know,
I didn't know we were
90s. That's my jam. You know.
Wait, really?
yes.
What venue?
An engine room. But
played-
we went there
you
and it
remember
was
this?
locked. The doors were locked.
I went
Do you
there,
remember
so
this, Jeremy?
I saw.
I don't remember this.
I went to the
remember
engine
that.
room one
He's
time to
making
see
shit
Sugar Cult.
Sugar Cult, yeah.
Yeah, so I went to the engine room one time to see Sugar Cult, and like the opening band was kind of shitty. I forget who they were, but I was in. You know, remember engine room had that arcade in the back corner by where the merch booth.
Closet, yeah.
So we were back there, like I was playing like Street Fighter with this guy. You know, like we were just drinking and playing whatever, and then like I was like, man, what time is it? Like, shouldn't Sugar Cult be going on pretty soon? And then and the guy's like, they'll go on in a little bit, and like so I like he won. I'm not gonna front. Like I kicked his ass and he was like, all right, I gotta go. And then like I didn't know who the fuck the guy was.
It was fucking part of
It
the
was the guitar player Marco for Sugar Cult. That's
Nice.
why they were late because I was fucking. we were playing Street
Asshole.
Fighter.
Typical
Yeah.
Rob.
Typical Rob. Running the
Yeah.
Typical
But,
fucking Rob.
Hey, and by the way, if I was making that story up, I think I would have picked a better name than Oleander.
That's
Come on, like, seriously.
That's not that impressive, but you're right. I don't remember that at all.
That's all exactly.
Yeah, Jacob, me and Jeremy don't recall that at
No.
all. Like, I don't remember that. The only place I remember getting locked out is when we did a show together in Corpus Christi, and they completely forgot we're coming down.
Yes.
And they had to bring an opener.
They had to call people.
Yeah, another local
Oh
band.
my god, that sucks.
Have
Have you ever been double booked at a venue? Showed up for a gig and they're like, oh yeah, we already have a band playing tonight.
Definitely have a handful of times.
Oh god, that sucks. That's the worst fucking feeling, especially when you got a bunch of people coming out to see you. That happened to me a couple of times in a couple different.
Yeah,
bands.
we are actually booked a tour, and I think it was in Alabama when the agent did that, and our good buddy and one of my really great friends, Wes Johnson, he was our tour manager at the time, and I mean he showed his muscles on that show and got the other bookings like completely off, and we did our tour like that night. Like
Wow,
he
nice.
did a good job.
Damn,
Pulled out the boomstick.
So go out to
Pulled
Wes
out the
Johnson.
boom. He showed
I'm
his
sure he'll be
muscles,
watching
all right.
He showed his muscles on that one, man. He muscled those other bands out for sure.
Damn, nice. One by one.
all right, let's
pointed
get
the gun at him.
Let's get back on track.
Yes.
So, Paul.
Yeah,
This
well-
is Paul. So
Yeah, we got to get an introduction, okay?
Okay,
and
all right.
whatnot, and so
Paul,
but
this is Paul set this up right, so everybody can.
Can
I'm
shit
not.
on Paul.
No.
I'm doing my best here, and it's just being
No.
interrupted. by you,
I'm not
it's cool.
shitting on Paul. This is a good.
I
This is a
will.
good show. I'm just saying, like this is Paul's
Yeah.
moment to
I know.
shine. I'm trying to help him shine a little.
Yeah,
bit,
you're
you know?
making, but I wanted to comment earlier the stuff you're talking about, how you get into Fitzgerald's and the process is like, man, I was about to cry because I remember like just thinking about that time and like around that era when we were playing music and how much I wanted us to play at Fitzgerald's at in Tomorrow's
And how
Goodbye,
hard it was
and
to
how
get
hard
50
it was, and
bucks
just,
to-
yeah, exactly, and just the passion we
And
had for
have
doing
25
it.
people to come.
It just brings
25
back a lot of
people, that was
memories.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
you know?
And what? And so I don't know.
It was definitely. It was hard to get booked there. Man.
Yeah, it was, and just
I mean, that was
good,
like
a lot of good times, man. I've been there many times.
You
Yeah,
might
it
as
was
well have
fun
been playing
time.
the Woodlands. You know what I mean?
It felt like it just felt like it. Just
I've
it's
played upstairs at
monumental.
Fitzgerald's a number of times,
Quit
and
flexing that cock. Who cares?
my worst
Flexing
memories
that
of
cock.
Fitzgerald's just being a young kid and not caring about shit.
Right.
Is pulling an 810 Ampeg cabinet up those
Oh
fucking
my.
steps
Oh,
outside.
that's fun, huh? Yeah.
Woo! I never again. I haven't hauled a bass cabinet to a gig in
I
years.
think
said
those things are like
gig.
100 and some odd pounds too, man.
Yeah, they're heavy. as hell.
115 pounds.
There's a culprit right there.
No, that's only
That's
a
half of it.
610.
Oh, okay, that's not.
Yeah,
okay,
that's only
damn.
a 610.
So about a
They sound
100
better though,
pounds.
right? The 610s.
Yeah, the 610.
We're veering off. Sorry.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
okay.
Let's not get
So
into
anyway,
that.
we're
Yes,
going back.
they do, but
But basically, we got an introduction from you, Jeremy, and like I just want to kind of, like he said, backpedal and.
And thank you for coming
But-
out tonight,
yes,
man. I
Yes,
appreciate
thank
it.
you, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. It's
My
been a
pleasure.
while.
My pleasure.
Years.
What got you interested in music and starting to play and let's go that far back.
Well, When I first started music, I was in high school, so this was, oh my Lord.
What year did you graduate high school?
I graduated in 2003. So
that was a great year.
Actually, way before that. So I started playing music 4 years before I graduated. So, what was that? 1999 is when I started playing, and the first instrument that I picked up was actually bass, and mainly I play guitar. That's what I played for in Rosalyn. I did backup singing and play guitar. But anyways, I picked up bass, and we started this little screamo emo band that was not bad, but we weren't good because we're definitely first started. And like the aforementioned venue, Fuel Cyber Cafe. We played there a lot because, they were pretty easily booked. It was a cool place to play because of the location. I mean, there was a lot of hipster kids that lived out in Humble.
Was there really? Hipsters weren't a thing back then.
Oh, go to Fuel Cyber Cafe.
I've been there plenty of times.
But, I learned to play bass, and, man, like, I taught myself. One of my buddies taught me how to read tabs and literature, and I think the very first song that I learned by ear was from the artist Our Lady Peace, and the song was Gravity.
Oh, that's such a great song.
That's such a good song, and that was probably one of my proudest moments was to be able to pick it up by ear because I've been practicing so hard for so long, and if you work, I mean, I'm sure that we can all agree, since we know a few of y'all are musicians. When you start,
we can go ahead and say the majority.
The majority. Of y'all.
Sorry, Raff.
When you start progressing like that,
I played trumpet.
You see.
He plays skin flute.
You see your progression, and it's another world for you.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and then I eventually got into guitar. I started teaching myself that, and I went from I started as acoustic first and started using tablature for like stuff like Dashboard Confessional because like
Ultra Jeremy,
because like definitely like his writing and his style was a bit complicated because he used open tunings and stuff like that.
Yeah, very complicated.
So that helped me a lot, and I think from there it progressed to. My electric, jamming on Earth and Norma Jean and
Norma Jean.
What was that one band? Nora.
Is that the nobody takes pictures of the drummer?
Yeah, there you go. That's the one. Yeah,
Jacob does all that shit every
play
time.
that shit,
and
man.
every time, like Jacob, like we would play like something cool, something beautiful, and like meaningful at the end of the song. Jacob does a dissonance chord, like you fucking asshole.
Yeah.
But that's cool. Yeah, I remember a lot of those bands you would talk about, and especially Dashboard Confessional, or especially Chris Carrabba, and how much he was an influence for you back then. Speaking of which, is he still around?
Yeah,
he's still
Dashboard Confessional just released a new album with him on it.
Yeah, that's cool. No, that's good.
On tour right now with who is it? It's a little pop punk band starts with an A.
All Time Low.
All Time Low.
Yeah.
They're still touring.
They're touring. Yeah.
Yeah, they're still touring.
Wow.
I think they're playing that show at House of Blues. I'm not sure when.
Oh, nice. All Time Low got pretty big.
Yeah.
But I mean, one of the big influences when I was in Tomorrow's Goodbye, like singing wise, because that's what I did. I mainly just wrote lyrics and sang while Paul and Jake did the guitars. But one of my main singing influences was Chris Carrabba. Like I loved his voice, and not a lot of people know about this. He originally started in a band called Further Seems Forever.
Yeah,
everybody knows that.
I think that's true. Most people that listen to Dashboard Confessional,
a lot of people won't realize
don't know that.
But even after Chris left that band, I still loved them. I still loved the way that they wrote their lyrics, like everything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Cool. Yeah. Chris Carrabba, man.
So I got a question. So let's talk about Before There Was Rosalyn. how did you get started in that band? Like, how did that get rolling off the ground?
Jeremy, how did that start?
Well, I think
that wraps it up for now.
we'll see y'all.
We asked him, "Hey, what do you want to talk about?" Like, that's cool, man. We'll cross that line. I'm fucking out of here.
We talk about anything. I'm pretty sure that I used the same source that I found y'all on. The was that
HoustonBands.net.
HoustonBands.net.
It was his number one source.
I found some other guys, and we're kind of on the same page with where we wanted to take it. So I played guitar with them and dibble daddled. We had I think it was Shane.
Yes, Shane, yeah.
Mikey. That's all I remember. And then I guess
You had a female bass player at one point too. I don't know if that was during that time.
Ralph too. Yeah, that's
Ralph.
right.
Yeah.
Ralph. Was Ralph your original drummer, or was it? Excuse me. Was there another one? I can't remember.
There was somebody else, but we did that for a while, and then some situation happened with the singer around that time. So then that's where Carlos came in the picture, and me and him are the originals. We were in the band, and we started the band basically because the other lead singer was only probably in it for like 2 months.
Yeah.
So when he came in, it was just me and him, man. We sat together, and the funny thing is, it's like back in those days, I was really quiet and like to myself. So I didn't really say a lot. So when Carlos came into the picture, I shook his hand. I didn't say nothing to him, and we just started playing. And he just started, jamming with, screaming and doing what he does. And
yeah.
So
and all I did was just give him a thumbs up. He was in.
Yeah, that's all it took.
Yep, that's all it took.
Nice.
So let me answer a question. So like, when y'all started that band and you started going, did you have a vision for where you wanted to go and like what you wanted the band to be? Or was it more like, was it more like, hey, let's collaborate and like get these guys involved and like see what we turn into? Or was it more like, I needed this guy that does this, I need this guy that does this, and who had the vision of where you were going and what you were looking for?
I think that Carlos and myself had a lot of the vision back in the early days. Lyrically, Carlos was, I tried to write the music around him to fit, with his lyrics. Yeah, it's such a long time ago, man.
Yeah.
And
it's all right, man.
Not every band, not everybody knows. We're all musicians, and we've all been in the fray and done that. But every band is different. Every band is. Some bands write the music, and then the lyricist comes in and writes a melody over the top of that and writes lyrics to it.
Yeah,
that's the way like James Hetfield does it for Metallica. Other times it's a lyricist has a notebook of lyrics and different whatever poems or whatever they've written, and then a song comes together and the lyricist comes in and says, oh, I think I can make this fit for that. That's kind of how like Red Hot Chili Peppers does it. And then other times there's a singer that comes in, like this is how Chris Carrabba does it. Like he writes a melody with the lyrics and stuff like that, and then the kind of writes the guitar parts and everything kind of comes together underneath that melody of the lyrics and stuff like that. That's always been real interesting to me because as a mainly rhythm player, melody escapes me a lot of times, like writing melody. So that's always been one of the things that I've always been curious about is like, if you're writing a melody, like where the fuck does that come from?
It just comes. It really honestly does.
Yeah, I mean,
it just
like
does.
I would be at work and I would just I would hear something in my head, and I would just hum it all day until I got home, and I was able to put it on the strings.
Damn, it's badass.
You know, that's what I would do.
My memory can't carry that long to do that.
Yeah.
Well, now we have iPhones.
Yeah, I do it. I record it. That's what I do now too. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think as far as a vision for the band, we were still seeking that. We weren't really sure where we wanted to go. We knew who our influences were, but we weren't sure which direction musically we wanted to go with. We were just in the early stages of Rosalyn. It was just a ton of different styles of just music put together, and then that was us in the beginning.
So what was is there a specific time when you you showed up to a rehearsal and you just, after everything was done, you switched your amps off and you were like, that's it, that's the sound, that's this band, this is our definition?
Yeah, we just basically
do you have that moment? Is there one that sticks out in your mind for that?
I think it was, we didn't really we had a practice space, and then it got too expensive. So we basically, my dad lives on 5 acres of land, and we have a warehouse there. So we would have our practice studio in there. I mean, open, echoey, just crazy loud. But everything just kind of fell into place. I mean, like the guys that, that we picked up over the years, we all really just fed off each other.
Yeah.
We would, Trent, he would bring in a melody and be like, oh man, that sounds good, and then Mark would jump in on the drums, and then I would throw in, those leads with the delays and, whatever else fillers I could think of. And then Carlos, man, he would get after it, man, and just put everything together and just make it solid.
Carlos has got a strong voice. He's got a strong fucking voice, man. From
the beginning to where he was, man, he was super talented.
Yeah.
And he still is.
Yeah, he's got good stage presence.
And he's still doing great stage presence. And right now he's doing spoken word stuff. I've heard with his own album, not sure what it's called. But I've listened to it and it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's interesting. I checked it out a while back. He's got a book too, I think, as well.
Yeah, Sage Willow. I was actually around while he was writing that book, and it's on Amazon.
Yeah,
to pick up.
Yeah, cool,
nice.
Cool.
So fast forward a little bit, before there was Rosalyn's playing around, building a fan base and things like that. And Paul was kind of touching on this a little bit, and he was trying to get there.
Yeah, I was eventually trying to tiptoe to where you guys embarked. You reached a certain milestone, that's a good milestone, like what Rob was saying. You guys reached to a point to where you guys realize, okay, this is it, and then from there start pumping, and then you guys. I remember you guys you self-finance your own tours, and that's fucking rough.
Yeah.
So maybe kind of give us a guide, or what do you have to do in order to self-finance the tour, and what are the sacrifices and. It's pretty interesting, and I remember you going through and telling me some of this stuff, so just if you can tell us what that's like.
When we went on tour and we left, we didn't really have any money. I mean, I was so serious about the band, man. I was working at, Target or, with my dad trying to make a little bit of side money.
Yeah.
But my dad's kind of old school, so if you live at my house, I'm not really going to pay you that much, that type of guy. But so no big deal. So I didn't have a lot of money. So I basically, during the tour, man, I just, we walked around and just hey, tip money, feed us for tonight.
Yeah.
Get us some money for Taco Bell, McDonald's. But, before big tours, we would play, we'd play some local shows. We'd have some guarantees from the venues. Maybe $100, $200, maybe $50. We'd put that in the box. And just put it away and get some shirts made. And we just saved everything that we had. We didn't have a lot. Maybe $600 to start off with.
Yeah.
And then we just went out there.
Yeah. So your basic income is from side hustling when when you're in town and just making as much money as you can between all the 4 or 5 of you at the time, and And just and whatever you can make like on local shows too, then your own merch and you're doing all the responsibilities. You're doing everything.
Right. We would just pull our money together, man, and just become one unit, man. That's what being a band is about. Is being a team, man.
Yeah. No, and man, that's fucking amazing because I remember talking to Jacob about this. Like, man, it's like. Fucking Jeremy did it dirty, man, and that's passion.
Well, I'll tell you what.
That's admiring, man.
I'll tell you,
really
dirty, man. For when we went on a tour, I think it was 3 or 4 months, and I hadn't taken a shower in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, damn, I believe it, man.
And we were in Hotlanta.
Oh.
And I got desperate, dude, and Jesus. I said, screw it. I filled up 2 1-gallon jugs of water out of a faucet, and I went behind the building, and I just bought a bar of soap, and I just got naked behind the trailer, and that's how I washed.
And that is dirty, my friend.
Well, see, it's crazy because I remember talking to Paul, like, man, if you look up blood, sweat, and tears, I think BTWR.
The sweat is what.
No, but BTWR should be right next to it, man, and we admire that a lot. Yeah. Has there ever been a time during that first run, I guess, that you ever thought to yourself, like, man, what the fuck am I doing?
No, I loved every second of it.
That's
no matter
amazing.
how broke I was. I loved every second
passion,
of it.
man.
That's awesome.
That's fucking passion.
So
right
that
there.
passion obviously translated into more things going forward. How do you go from self-funding your own tours to Victory Records coming up to you and say, hey, we want to sign a record contract with you guys and get you out there for more people to hear?
I mean, once we found our sound, man, we were still self-funding ourselves, and so we had, of course you have to record demos, so you have to have a demo to.
I was going to ask you how
guys.
many releases did you have at the time before they approached you? Because I know you guys had a few you did on your own.
I think there was three or 4 self-released titles.
Yeah. I have some of them. I remember one of them, wasn't there?
I don't even know where my copies are.
Oh, damn, no shit. I think I can find some of them for you, man. If I do, I'll send it to you, man.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I remember one of them though. I can't remember. Like, it was like a hidden track with some guy doing a voice. Do you remember anything like that? It was weird. It was like in the early Rosalyn days, like. Maybe like your first EP you guys did. Mm-hmm. I don't know, Jacob. You probably don't know what I'm talking about, but I know I showed you a while back.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys had it was funny. It was hilarious. It's like, who the fuck did that? And
this was 15 years ago.
Yeah, this is a while back. Yeah, this is a good amount of time. But I don't know. I just figured, I guess you're not that passionate because you forgot. I take it back.
We recorded demos, and we were sending it to Face Down Records, Solid State. All the labels that we respected big time with the bands that we loved, but we're sending out like to everywhere. And one of our really good friends, Jana, moved to Chicago and happened to get an internship or apprenticeship at Victory Records.
Oh wow!
And she actually helped us out big time. She was the one that handed the guy gave the demo and put it in Tony's hands.
That's the owner, right?
Tony is the owner of Victory Records.
Okay, all right.
Gave him the demo, and then they contacted us, wanted us to come up there and play. So we were on tour, scheduled the whole tour around the schedule that we were supposed to go to the Victory Records office. And we played in this, inside this warehouse, nice stage, kind of like Java Jazz setup.
Okay.
And everybody said that, like, don't expect Tony to show up. He doesn't show up to these things. All they do is like they'll bring a few guys that work inside the office. They'll come and watch you. They'll talk to Tony, and then they'll just give him the tape, and then he'll watch it and make his decision. Well, Tony showed up.
Oh, yeah, nice!
I remember
Tony
you told me
showed
this.
Up. And I remember seeing, I looked him up online just because I wanted to, get familiar with his face in case he did show up, so I knew who it was. And I was setting up my guitar. I had my back turned, messing with Nas, doing some EQ stuff, and opening set, open chords, feedback, everything. I turn around and there's freaking Tony, like watching us with like. Maybe like 3 other guys in this room the size of like the old Java Jazz.
Yeah, damn.
In this room, this old the Java Jazz, it fit probably maybe 300 to 500 people. That's how big Java Jazz was. So in comparison, I mean, that's a pretty big room, to help you guys visualize that.
Right.
And man, we knocked it out of the park. We only played 3 songs, 3 of the that we felt was our best songs, and then we killed it. Like, we played our hardest and we played our best.
I bet you fucking did, man.
And of course, man, we were all nervous.
I was about to say, where's your stomach at during that time, man?
Jesus, yeah.
I was nervous, man. I was shaking.
It's like, not even that. It's like. Well,
and I was a singer, so like my voice was like, my throat and everything was like super dry. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna my voice is gonna screech. Like, he's gonna hate me. He's gonna hate the band.
Well, the fact too that
it's gonna be all my fault.
The pressure on top of everything, not the fact he's there, but they said, oh, he never comes to these, and he's fucking there.
Yeah,
he's there.
Exactly.
That tells you something right there. He was just bored on his lunch. I don't know.
And I tell you what, man, as soon as we finished the last song, I put my guitar down, turn around, and here comes Tony walking up the stage ramp, looking straight at me. I'm like,
oh shit!
Damn. And this guy's intimidating. Like, he
wears short shorts.
He was.
No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Dave at Java Jazz.
Oh Jesus!
But yeah, he comes right up, like, staring at me, like, tough guy. Like, he was an old school hardcore guy back in the day, and then he started the label. But he came up and man, he just shook my hand and just like, great job,
nice,
and just like did that with every member of the band. And then at that point, it was just like, we knew, and he offered us a record there right then and there, right
after the show.
Very nice.
So I mean, what was that record contract like? I mean, was it, hey, we want to sign y'all to like a 10-disc out deal, or like, let's do one and see what's up?
But before
this contract was actually pretty good, because I've heard of a lot of bad situations with other bands that have been signed through Victory Records. There's been a lot of issues, but personally for us, we had a 2-record deal with the option to do a 3rd, which was not bad, because they had a lot of other bands that were signing for like 6 records.
That's where I'm at.
Damn.
So I'm sorry, Paul had a question.
Well, I just wanted to say, like, before that though, when they approached you, I remember you telling me the requirements for to be considered for them, like or to be part of their family, or to be a part of Victory Records. What are those like requirements? Like, as far as like you had to, like, the self-financing your tours and like road miles and stuff like that. Do you remember I remember you telling me that.
I think the requirements were that you had to have a certain amount of self-releases, and you had to have a certain amount of road time.
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay. Yeah. And you guys were at that point, how long were you guys doing on your own?
At that point, I think it was 4 or 5 years.
Damn, man. See that, and that's what it takes.
On
that's
the
what
road,
it takes
on the
man.
road 4 or 5 years. I mean, for the
we
majority of the
we would be on the road probably 6-7 months out of the whole entire year.
Nice.
Yeah, man. That's fucking passion. Like, who cares about? It's about the passion, not the fucking money.
So,
like, at that time, it's just, and like, I mean, just where it got you. Like,
it's about the music, man.
Yeah.
And I still feel that way about music. I miss playing, but I still love music. I listen to everything. People ask me all the time, what do you listen to? I was like, I listen to everything. And a lot of people say that. Oh, okay. So what about classical music? No, I don't listen to that.
Yeah.
I listen to everything.
Yeah. That's it. That's good.
So let's go back to tour life. So what's life like on tour before Victory Records and then after Victory Records?
Actually, not any different.
I was expecting extravagant, but no, that's disappointing.
That's the problem.
I should know better.
That's the problem with a lot of people think, is that once you get signed, here all come these unicorns and rainbows and all that good stuff. But that's not the case. There's still a lot. Now you have to work harder.
Yeah,
you have to work harder, because now you're representing, and you're with a company that's got your back. So now we got to be on tour all the time. Now we have to write records, and
how much do they have your back? You know what I mean? Like, how much? What are they doing for you other than financing your recording? How much marketing are they doing? Are they pushing you to people? How much control are they pushing on you? What is your contract like as far as like how much say so they have and like what you're doing with the band?
Mostly they did their online marketing, and then I believe that to promote the band they put us on, like, you remember back like in Warped Tours where like Victory Records would show up and then they would give those samplers out.
I remember that.
So we were on like I think 1 or 2 of those. I think
nice
just to promote the band. I mean, they gave us, I think it was 50,000 sign-on bonus, and I told the guys, I was like, I don't know if that's good enough because we need brand new touring equipment. So they actually gave us each, I think it was 1,900 or so for new equipment as well, on top of the $50,000 for recording.
Wow.
Nice.
So I mean, they hooked us up pretty well with that. But as far as like pushing the band, they did, but not as much as I expected. It wasn't like I saw with their big lineups.
Right.
Yeah. Right. And I would like to eventually get into that.
So as I'm a huge gear whore, so like when. Like what's that like? Like when you're talking about they're giving you money for new gear, now you've got a record so now you're Before There Was Rosalyn. Now you have a recording contract with Victory Records. You've got tours planned. Like what is that? And they're saying like, here's some money, go buy some new touring gear, and you're like, ooh, okay. Like, do you start? Well, what gear am I going to buy? Am I going to buy the shit that I like, or am I going to, sign an endorsement deal with somebody that's going to cut me a deal on something that I can get, and slap my name on, kind of something like that. You know what I mean? Because I mean, I've always been kind of curious about, like me personally, like I have my favorite brands, and like I wouldn't endorse a brand that I wasn't passionate about. But I don't know if there's other people that are as passionate about certain brands and sounds as I am.
Well, I definitely think that it depends on the taste and style of music that you play. Yeah. For me, I had a double stack of Mesa 4x12s, and I was running a PV 5150.
Nice.
Van Halen style.
Best freaking tube amp ever made. Sounds so good. That's what I was running. And as far as guitars, like I played nothing but.
I met Hartley PV a couple of years ago. By the way,
I got a 2 ESP LTDs, one at EC 1000, and then the
Ultra Pulse style.
the Viper 400,
which
I still have.
The Viper, I remember the Vipers.
Yeah,
they still make Vipers, ESP Vipers.
I don't fucking know.
I don't know. I haven't seen those in a while, but
I don't fucking
those Deluxes are. Those EC 1000s are nice, man. Did you get the EMGs or was it the Seymour Duncans?
Oh, I had the EMGs. In my Viper, I had 85s, 285s, which made the guitar sound heavier. On the EC 1000, I kept it original. I mean, that guitar is like $1,000. You don't have to do nothing to it. It just sounds so good.
I think 85, that's usually on a bridge pickup, right? The 85s?
Yes. And then like the 81s.
I think it's 81s, yeah.
It's usually a neck pickup, yeah.
Right.
Nice.
I think that's, those are bass pickups. And those are EMGs in that DBZ 5-string I have.
Oh,
if you're looking for a beer, there's an unopened beer in the middle.
Yeah, right. There's one here too.
No,
I'm still nursing
it.
This
one's closer to me.
That was more like from the Dark Knight.
Rob, give me, please. But yeah, that being said, and like,
did you say something about DBZ?
Who, me?
No, not you.
No, forget it. Whatever.
What about not Dragon Ball Z?
I was wondering. Okay, go back to the Victory Records and. When you guys are signed, and like before you got signed, I know you said you did. Well, you mentioned you were just looking up the owner. Did you know? Because I'm pretty sure you're aware of like the scandals and stuff going on in Victory Records. I think at the time there was stuff going on, but I could be wrong. Hold on, we'll get into that in a second. And did you know beforehand any of this stuff, any of this kind of business going on before he got signed?
Yeah, absolutely.
Were you guys aware of that?
Yes. Yes.
Was that it was obviously a considering factor?
It was a concern.
Before signing.
It was a concern, and that's why we got we had people look at our contract and look it over really closely because we weren't going to just sign something.
Don't do it blind.
Our first, we were really pushing for Face Down Records. That was who we wanted to be with. That's who we wanted to be with. But Victory came in and made us an offer, and we had a few talks, I think, with Face Down, but nothing ever kind of went from there.
Yeah.
So then Victory came in and offered that. So yes, as far as like the scandal goes, they weren't. What Victory was doing is they weren't paying their bands.
Yeah,
and they
A
were.
Day to Remember being a big one from what I heard.
Yeah, and they actually. I think this was, I can't remember the year, but they won that lawsuit.
I heard about that. That was pretty recent too.
Yeah,
and it was a long
Who
battle.
Who won
A Day to Remember.
They won the lawsuit.
Yeah.
A Day to Remember won that lawsuit.
They weren't. What's it called?
Explain to me what was going on.
Victory wasn't paying them. Victory wasn't paying them. Is that the gist of it?
Yeah, what Jeremy was saying, Victory was not paying their bands under their roster who they're supporting.
Right.
And A Day to Remember was one of them, and they got it was a long drawn out lawsuit. I remember that. I think I could have swore there was another one or two. Wasn't besides A Day to Remember? I mean, obviously there were because I can't think. I meant to look that up because I used to know this shit by heart because I used to follow it a lot. But besides A Day to Remember, do you recall anybody else, Jeremy?
No, not on the top of my head.
Okay,
not on the top of my head, but that being the biggest one because
like,
I mean,
the
A Day to
lawsuits
Remember
or whatever.
as far as like what other bands they affected and but yeah,
Hawthorne Heights sued them. Thursday sued them.
wow.
I think every band. I think
with the hit like the headliners, the ones on the
Streetlight
top.
Manifestos sued them. I think there was. Okay, so I think I remember something about a Thursday deal back in like 01, 02 when Thursday was still on Victory Records. This is all coming back to me. So those years are such a blur to me. There was I had a lot of drugs, and
Aren't we all?
I just have bad memory.
I don't have. At least you have a memory. I don't have a lot of anything. I seem to remember something about a whoopee cushion, and when Thursday released Full Collapse,
I heard of something like this,
and it was like a huge deal. Jeff Rowley was totally against like some marketing deal that Victory. There was a huge deal with that. That's why they left and went to Def Jam Records or Island Def Jam, whatever the fuck they are.
I think it was
Island.
Yeah, and so that's why they split ties with Victory. So
yeah. I heard of something like that.
I'm just that's super. Why Thursday would have a fucking whoopee cushion is beyond me.
All right. Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Anyway,
Good for them.
Good
so,
for them.
I gotta ask, what was like? You might have described it earlier, but what was the worst experience you had on tour that you can recall?
The worst experience I had on tour.
what was the worst bathroom you had to shit in?
That's like part one of a series.
No,
of
that's my biggest fear about tour is like what fucking bathroom am I gonna have to shit in?
That's your biggest fear, really?
Yeah,
fucking pussy, man.
Yeah.
Jesus,
dude. They cut
white privilege.
I'm shifting gears over here. White privilege with
Throw
a
that
purpose.
shit out.
Remember, we're going over this every show. You're going to come up with that. The fucking okay. So the water's off at work like the past 2 days,
Yeah.
and they come and drop off porta potties.
welcome to my
that
world.
sucks. Yeah.
Fucking construction
That does suck.
sites.
Oh my god, it's
That
fucking
does suck.
terrible.
That
Yes, it
sucks.
is.
But going back to that, so last weekend I was in Galveston took the family down there for my mom's birthday or whatever. We're hanging out or whatever.
Yeah.
And we went to breakfast and then we were going back to the hotel and we stopped to get some groceries or whatever. And we're on the far west end of Galveston and we stop at this grocery store / gas station. And I'm like, all right, y'all go in and get groceries. I got to gas up the van, whatever. So we had just eaten breakfast, a couple cups of coffee in. I'm like,
oh, you're fucked up. You don't do that.
I was like, all right, this is not going to wait. So I'm going to go inside. I'm like, I'm just going to go find the key to the bathroom,
Yeah.
On the door, the glass door, no restrooms inside. It literally says no restrooms, porta cans across the parking lot.
I bet those fuckers are clean too.
They were not clean.
Clean compared to construction site, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So as far as the worst experience that we had on tour,
Yes.
Yeah.
Monetarily, hygienically, whatever.
No, man. Like
morally.
I don't exactly remember.
They have that bad, huh? You gotta suppress it.
I don't exactly remember what state that we were at, but we had just loaded up after a show that we did. I think that it was in Ohio, maybe.
That makes sense. They have Cleveland there.
And
Cleveland rocks.
Maybe. I'm not sure, so don't take me on that. But so we loaded up. We loaded up after this show. Got everything in the trailer in the van, and I think this was like in the beginning we weren't even like signed yet, and we're of course trying to find something to eat. So we're heading out of town, and there's flashing red lights at this four stop intersection, and we were waiting for the next car to go, and then when it was our turn, we took our left turn, and this guy hit us head on.
Oh, shit.
Fuck, man.
So the cops and everything show up. This dude was obviously, like, high on dope and, like, drunk with, like, his girlfriend and, like, some other friend in the car. Their mom showed up and, like, took care of all that. So we were... The van, the airbags, of course, deployed.
Damn.
And we had to go find a place. We had to find a place to stop. The van still ran, though. That's the amazing thing about it. The van still started up and ran.
That fucking rape van still ran?
Yeah, it was just like this big.
Hold on.
Let me guess.
Gash in the front of the van.
It was a Ford Econoline van.
No, this was a Chevy. Chevy 1500.
An Astro van?
No, Chevy 1500.
Shut your whore mouth about that.
With a hat?
With the top hat.
The hat. With the ass at the end, too, Jacob style.
Oh, man. Those are sexy, man.
So, yeah, man.
Premier rape vans, yes.
We find this truck stop, Flying J. We go inside. We know plenty of fuel. So we just park where all the truckers and stuff normally put their trucks. They all go inside, and so I decided to go ahead. We're probably at like half a tank or something like that. I was like, I'll just go ahead and just move the van over to the pumps and fill in gas while everybody's inside getting food. And the van doesn't start.
Oh, fuck.
So what's happening is the fan for the cooling system is hitting the shroud, so that's not allowing for the motor to turn over. So I have to, without barely any tools, luckily and thankfully, I had a razor blade knife. So I had to tear down, in this, small compartment where the motor is, take everything apart and cut down this shroud. And I probably didn't finish. I mean, this incident happened probably around 10:30 at night. And I probably didn't finish working on the van till about 7:30, 8:30 in the morning.
God,
fucking
damn,
hero, man.
No shit.
To get it to run.
God damn, Jeremy.
And then we went on to the next show, and we continued that tour and drove that van around
with the fucking
busted airbags with the wheel.
The alignment all fucked up.
That's
like
so
90
fucking
degrees like this the whole way, holding the wheel like this.
Damn.
That's so punk rock,
20,
man.
10 and 20
Yeah, it
at
is.
Super punk rock.
10 and 20 at like 6
Fucking
and 12.
God damn, that's fucked up, man.
That's how we drove the van, dude.
Jesus. So, what became of that? Like, what ended up happening?
Where
like,
is
did
that
you
van?
guys like? Yeah, that's a hell of
That's
a
like
van.
a trophy,
So
man.
we-
Trophy.
So
Indestructible.
so we finished the entire tour, man. We made it home. We got to Texas. I got it back to my parents' house which is where I was still living still. and they had insurance, so the insurance just totaled the van out and gave us I think it was like $3,000 or $4,000, and then we ended up buying another van with it.
Another Ray van.
Do y'all take any? Okay, so with that, do y'all take any relics from that van? Do you have like a piece of that van or anything?
You should have kept the airbags.
I wanted that van to burn. But the coolest thing about that van, dude, was that it had a TV inside. So I
remember that.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, man, you saw the van.
I think he was there too,
TV, dude.
I think he might have been there too.
We
That's the same
watched
van?
DVDs.
Maybe.
Mainly we would watch
That was in the same van.
Mainly we would watch me and Trent. I mean, Dumb and Dumber all the time.
I wonder who we got that DVD
With
from.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey.
Not legs.
we should call Legs, man.
We've already done that.
I don't know if you heard that episode.
I heard that episode that y'all call Legs, dude. That was. I wonder if he'll answer. I'll call him from my phone.
Go naked. You're brave.
Whoever answered,
Star 69.
the guy was like, I can't help you.
Oh, that's
nice,
fucking good,
nice.
man. That's cool.
That is fun stuff.
Yeah.
All right, we're running close to time, so one or two more questions.
Okay. No, I was just gonna mention too, because at one point I was in a band with Jeremy. I filled in. Me and Jacob were doing Secret for Apollo, and I think it was for 4 or 5 months. I was in there with you guys, and I remember doing that little. Go ahead. It was out of town, at that one place in I think Temple, Texas.
Yes.
We played that show.
Yes.
And David was on bass.
Yes.
That was a fun show, man.
That was an awesome show.
That was fucking fun. And that one chick, or who was there? The guitar player from Flyleaf?
It was the bass player and the lead singer from Flyleaf.
Oh, okay.
They showed up. Yeah.
Yeah, because Carlos knows her, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys heard of Flyleaf.
No, of course I heard of
remember?
Flyleaf.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Of course. So do you still have any perks
No.
that I can rip off you? I remember you guys backstage one time at
Yes.
at freaking
Maylene
and Sons Disaster.
All That Remains in
All
Lacuna
That Remains.
Coil.
Yeah, that was fun.
I remember that show, too, because you're telling us that, about the whole record deal. I was like, the album was done, and I was like, can I please have the album? Why? Because, I want to be the first asshole to leak it.
I remember you saying that.
I was like, please let me have the fucking honor to do that. I always wondered, oh man, who the fuck is this asshole that did it? I mean, thank you, but I want to be that. I want to do that.
You're such a piece of shit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm blaming you for our poor record sales.
Oh, I guess you're welcome, but yeah.
Paul is like weed be gone. Everything it touches, it kills.
But speaking of, yeah, right.
Round up.
But speaking of which, you were talking about too, we just joking around with your record sales. I remember you telling me your royalties coming in. Could you please tell us how much those checks were, if from your album sales, and how hard this is in the music industry, and then at their level. And pretty much when it came down to royalties and what you guys received.
Well, let's make it a little easier. How many album sales? What does the album sales equal to in a dollar amount on?
That's not making
label?
it easier.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
No, because he probably doesn't want to
make a check.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? No. Oh, really? Wow. Okay. Mm-hmm. I remember. I could have swore you told me at one point you did receive one check and it was very, very low.
Yeah, I think it was probably $10.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there was
I'm in the money. I'm in the money.
There's a Peter Frampton is he's a big proponent against streaming music, and he's
just like Lars Ulrich. Whatever.
Well, that's because Lars Ulrich started this in this business.
Don't talk about my fucking dad like that. I'm thinking about that, right? Because everybody calls my dad Lars and shit.
He started rich. I mean, he's the son of a professional tennis player.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Who? Still didn't excuse him for not saying
Lars Ulrich.
Oh, that's right. Lars Ulrich. You're right. He is.
Yes, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But what? Okay, but you go. What's your point?
I know you're talking about Frampton.
Peter Frampton. There's a lawsuit. Peter Frampton was saying, and I'm going to misquote numbers here, so somebody's going to comment, I'm sure, and correct me. Something like Peter Frampton got something like like 10 million streams of whatever his big hit song is.
You fucking know.
I can't think of the name of it right now.
Do
you feel like I
Yeah,
do? Whatever.
there you go.
And his check from that for 10 million streams was like $1,200.
Wow.
So that's what streaming music has done in the music industry. So
Yeah,
if you can translate that to from record sales to, what
Yeah.
that's what
physical buys versus streams. In other words,
you know what I mean. Streaming wasn't a thing back in the day. I mean, you couldn't.
But
you'd have to steal everything off of Napster and LimeWire.
Well, think about it. Like a sound aficionado for you, like yourself, do you prefer an actual amp or one of these freaking interfaces?
Like if I'm recording in here,
I don't answer that. Fuck you. Never mind. Yeah, you're supposed to say an actual amp, right? But no,
you didn't let me finish the fucking.
That was a test. You took too goddamn long.
You didn't let me finish the fucking answer.
Too fucking long.
If you want the actual answer, if I'm recording in here, I'm in a mic, and if somebody's paying me. Everything's gonna be mic.
Okay, not recorded. I mean live performance.
If we're talking live performance and ease of use, they can use that Line 6 pedal board over there for all I care.
That ease of use, tonnage, man. But you're a bass player. Who cares about your tone? About the guitars.
Your mama cares about my tone.
Oh man!
God damn, that's
you're
lazy,
talking
Rob.
bass.
Mama jokes.
You're talking. You're a bass player. What do you care about? There's a bass tube stack amp over there in the corner that I play out of,
and nobody gives a
all
shit
the time.
about it. Okay.
There's a tube amp sitting over here. So what do you think I care about?
Yeah,
tonnage. I know.
Good for you.
I know. I got you. Yeah, I'm giving you a hard time, man.
Yeah, flexing his cock. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
So, well, yeah.
All this talks about cocks and flexing is just
making you hard.
It's just amazing.
I guess did you ever find out too, like as far as like sales, like how many copies you guys sold of the record you guys did on Victory Records? I can't pronounce it.
I know that we received them, but I never saw that paperwork. It was always Carlos that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So Carlos, I got to hit up Carlos. Yeah. I don't know. I was always curious. I always wanted to ask you about that, but it's no big deal. I just figured throw that out there. But after gathering, and going through all that stuff, and I know I am. God damn it! I was onto something.
You don't have to stop. You can't.
Yeah, but you're distracting me. I can't. I'm not linear. All right. Now I lost a place. Now I lost a fucking place. Now I'm all over the place again. You fucker. Asshole, man.
You gotta go like this, like.
Just trying to get to, a good closure, but you fucked it all up.
Just like in Cardi's.
Yes.
Wrap it up, guys.
Yeah. Fuck you. Take your time, brother. I want to hear that shit again.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. Where's that guy at?
Yeah, I know. Ruben. Poor Ruben, man. He lives with Raff.
In the attic?
That's
Raff's Bebop house?
Yes, Raff's Bebop Station house.
Oh, yeah, Raff's
all you have to do
Station.
is find the guy with flame tattoos on his fucking wrist, and
Jesus Christ,
that's him, because he's
building
probably the only guy
motorcycles.
that has that shit.
No, false. That is not true at all. Every motorcycle guy that's over fucking 35 years old that still rides motorcycles all the time and doesn't have a fucking decent job has fucking flames on the wrist like Chester Bennington from Linkin Park.
Hey, I was thinking about getting flames on my wrist the other day.
Well, you suck cock.
Do you still ride,
I
Jeremy?
Yeah, I still have mine.
Nice. I remember we should ride.
Yeah, but what was I gonna say? Like, I still don't even know what the fuck I was going at.
Nobody
Thanks,
does.
man. Fucking asshole. But
I wasn't going anywhere.
yeah, I was going somewhere. It was, and I just fucking forgot. It was on something. And
I was just going to go on a long rant of
Thanks for helping me, guys.
How long did it take to record your album?
We were in the studio for 2 months. We were out in, I think, Birmingham, Alabama. We were staying in a hotel for that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
What's there to do over there?
Nothing at all. We were broke. We were broke while we were recording. So we were it's kind of gross to say, but we were dumpster diving, man. That's how we ate.
you had to do what you had to do to survive.
But the thing
man.
was like we found packaged food food that was still good, that was, wasn't going to go bad for another week. They were just throwing it out.
Yeah.
So we ate up, there was huge, huge fruit platters, eggs, chicken, like all this, this stuff wasn't bad. It was still perfectly good. They were just throwing it out.
Yeah.
So that's how we ate, man. We ate for
Go
food.
in and lose weight,
man.
That was another thing too. Is that we had a workout regimen while we were in the studio too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Don't eat.
I think that we were doing like
Lines of cocaine.
Pilates or something like
You're
that.
not
Oh, no
eating?
shit.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say you guys are doing fucking chin ups or pull ups on your van or some I don't know, some wacky kind of shit. I don't know what the hell is going with that.
No, we're doing it inside the hotel room, so I'm pretty sure the guests
I remember
you did it
y'all would
privately.
vlog that shit.
No,
I
I'm
remember
sure,
seeing that.
I'm sure that the guests below us hated us
Yeah.
because we were 6 floors up.
Did they stick y'all? Did they stick y'all all in one hotel room?
Yeah.
I bet. Yeah, that's tough.
awesome.
That's hard.
Did you crash any parties next door or anything like that?
Nope. It's Birmingham, dude. There's nothing to do. All these people do is get drunk.
So where did you
drunk and stay home?
Where did you record your album?
It was in Birmingham, Alabama. At what is the studio called? 421 Recordings.
And who decides that?
We did. We chose. We chose what we wanted to record.
Did they give you a budget number? They say, here's, whatever number, $50,000.
Yes, absolutely.
Record your album.
50,000.
Wherever you want to go, wherever you want to spend the money.
Right. So 50,000 that covered, part of the recording fees, your graphics for the album, music video, and a few other things that I can't remember.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
They cover that, all that.
Yeah.
All right.
That's fine, man. It's interesting, man. I'm glad that the people that I know and as close as we know, that's cool. You made it. I'm proud to say that, and I'm proud to say that if you look at the back of the album cover. And the thank yous of his album on Victory Records.
Yeah, struck your own dick. Go ahead.
I'm flexing my fucking cock just like you guys did.
What? I'm gonna start inflating my balls, man. You guys are flexing.
Jeremy put me and
inflating
Jacob's
my
full
balls.
names on there on the thank yous.
And you know what, Jeremy? I have that framed, and I have it in my movie
we're
room.
proud of that.
I mean, you guys think about it though, man. If it wasn't for you and Paul, man, I probably would have never have gotten into Rosalyn.
That's true, because you did cheat on us.
I did. While I was singing for the band, I put more of my focus into the other band, and that was messed up with me.
Hell no, that's fine.
In hindsight, man, we all gotta, we all have fucking needs, man.
You need to follow,
and you wanted to do
you're
what you
more
wanted to do.
hardcore, I
So
think, and
no, and that's cool. But if you're saying that we kind of whipped you into shape, well, we're proud of that then.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's amazing. I'm glad my son turned out to be great.
Thanks,
that's amazing, man.
That's the only good thing you'll ever do.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I'm so proud of that. I feel like me and Jacob made it too, because you're one of us, and we're in a band together for over a year and a half. And
how's it feel to have them riding your coattails like that?
It feels good, doesn't it? Yeah. You're fucking ruining this for me, Ron. Thank you, you piece of shit. But yeah.
Hey, we're all on this table interviewing this guy. You know what I mean? None of us have been there.
Hey,
nobody's calling me for interviews.
You may have gotten thank yous and all that on in the album, but you didn't go to my wedding, so F y'all.
That's true. So we're not that close. I forgot.
Yeah.
He makes a valid point.
Hey, y'all were both in my wedding.
Yeah.
I fucking regret it.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that's messed
you're
up.
not the only one.
Yeah, I know. That's why I want to remind you that, but I'm not the only one.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you can feel
What,
the
that
hostility
regrets that
in the
you were
room.
in my wedding? You're not the only one that regrets you were in my wedding?
Yeah, you did too. So I'm just saying, I want to remind you that.
I didn't. Of what?
Shut the fuck up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
Nice.
We had
All
some
right.
good times.
It's been fun, man.
It has been. Jeremy, thank you for coming
you're
out
awesome for
and
coming out, man.
and sitting here and watching us drink and
Yeah.
regaling us with your stories of tour life and everything like that. It's been super awesome to have you on the show. Hopefully, we can do something cool like this again. Get you back out or
absolutely.
something.
Just let me know.
So, what are you involved in? Any kind of music stuff now? Can our listeners, check out anything you want to promo? That we can put on the website. Old stuff, new stuff.
No, nothing for right now. Nothing that I can disclose.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, mysterious.
Mysterious. Well,
All right. I like that.
I respect that
I
for
like
sure.
that.
I respect that for sure.
I'm curious.
I
yeah.
can talk to y'all about it off air.
Okay.
Sorry, folks.
You
Yeah.
listeners be jealous.
Fuck off.
Well,
So hold on. I want to call out. This.
Are we calling legs?
No, I'm not calling. We should definitely. We should try to set that up officially. But
He's gonna catch out and he's gonna sue us, dude.
I'm going to call out.
Harassment.
I'm going to call. Who? What'd you just say?
No, he's gonna call us out on harassment.
Oh, I thought you said Eric. So,
Yeah, I thought I heard that
because
too.
that's who I'm calling out.
Oh, Eric.
Yeah, Selloutland.
Yeah,
Okay.
you remember?
Sutherland?
Yeah, you remember
Yeah.
Sutherland? Yeah.
Yeah, this
yeah,
fucking
he-
guy.
he
Like
tried to-
every couple of weeks, we get we need
the
a jam. We
the
need a
drummer.
jam. We need a jam. We need a jam. And it's always, hey, the fucking door's open.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
3/4 of us are here. Where you at, Eric? Calling you out.
asshole.
3/4 of us are here.
So,
So
awesome.
All right.
well, it's been fun. Thank you, Jeremy.
Yes,
It's
thanks,
fucking
Jeremy. We really
awesome.
appreciate
Thanks
it,
for
man.
having
This
us.
is
I
fun.
appreciate
yes.
Yeah.
No stuff.
Until next
Hell
time,
yeah.
guys. I am Jake,
I'm Raff.
I'm Paul.
I'm Rob.
and we got our guest.
Jeremy.
Jeremy.
And this cannolis.
And we have been Gentlemen No Class.
Oh, yeah.
We'll catch y'all next time.